How do you change the oil on a 2010 Sonata? It takes 5W or 0W 20 weight oil.
Passenger side, here's the oil plug. We use a 17mm socket and break the bolt loose. With everything loose, pull out the plug, but don't allow it to come out. Just keep putting pressure against the pan. This is going to allow us to get it out without putting oil everywhere. Okay, so now it's out. Keep pushing forward. Then I'm going to pull it out quickly and just let it drain out into a pan.
The oil filter is on the bottom of the engine, directly under the passenger side.
There's an access hole right here in the plastic. Right here you can clearly see the filter.
I've used a lot of filter removers over the years, and this one works the best. Now you can't buy this one just like this. I had to modify it.
See these little teeth here?
We welded a piece of steel on here and then ground a spike. Usually this comes with a piece of rubber, which does not work as well as this. The way this one works is you put it onto the filter, and then the tighter you go, the more it grabs. It goes in the direction that will loosen the filter, and you can see that these spikes will grab big time. It'll hook up with a 3/8 drive. Here's a 3/8 wrench composite from Harbor Freight. It's really lightweight. I really like how light it is.
While the oil is draining out, I'll go ahead and start cracking this one loose.
You can feel it gets tight, and the harder you pull, the tighter it gets until it breaks it loose.
You can see now that it's loose.
Now we'll give it about 10 minutes and let all the oil drain out of the engine before removing the filter. The oil pan torque specs in the manual go from 25 to 32 pounds. I've got a lot of torque wrenches, but I really like this digital Harbor Freight torque wrench. I'll set it for 30 foot-pounds. Hook it up to a 1/2-inch drive socket. Put our 17mm socket on.
Spin the nut in by hand, make sure the threads are in really good shape. Now torque it up until it beeps. As you spin it, you can see the torque. So we've got it torqued about 31 foot-pounds.
Spin off the old oil filter
And drop it into the pan.
Put oil onto the O-ring.
Put in our new filter by hand. Verify everything looks and feels correct. The instructions say go until it's tight and then a quarter more. I go a little more than that.
My thought is if I put this on too light and it comes off, that's it for the car. So because I've got this tool that works so well, I put it on a little tighter. I don't want it coming off. Oil goes in on top. The manual says 5W20. This is 0W20, but they're both 20 weight oil. Both are going to work. The manual says 5W. I'm going 0W because at Harbor Freight, I'm able to get 0W for the same price. And 0W is going to give you a lower cold rating for the same price. So they're both going to work, but since it's the same price, I'm definitely going to go 0W. Pour the oil, pour it in this configuration, and it's not going to glug out. A lot of people want to pour it like this, but actually this is the proper configuration so it doesn't glug. This car takes about 4.5 quarts, so we're going to put 4 quarts in, start the engine, pull it down, make sure there's no leaks. Then using the dipstick, we'll go ahead and get it to the exact amount. To make it clearer on this 20 weight oil, this car needs 20 weight oil. The W means weather. Here's 0W20 and 5W20. And both of these are 20 weight oil, which is what this car takes. Usually the 0W is a lot more expensive, and you would use 5W, and 5W is fine. This just has a better cold rate. If you lived in Alaska, you would absolutely have to have 0W20, but because it's the same price, that's why I'm going with it. Here's some 30 weight oil, and you may be wondering, what is this? And this is a very common oil weight, but if your car takes 20 weight oil, you want to stick with it because your engine is designed to work with that viscosity. 30 weight would be too thick for your engine. You want to go with 20 weight, and 5W or 0W is typical. Here's even a thicker oil. This is 40 weight oil. This is 30 weight oil. This is 20 weight oil. So whatever your car requires, you want to make sure that you stay with the proper weight of oil. With 4.5 quarts, we'll start the engine. Make sure that the oil gets displaced all through the engine into the oil filter. Then we'll bring it down on level ground, and then we'll be able to check it with the dipstick. It's really important to check for leaks. If you have a leak, that could be a big, big problem. Take your time and check for leaks.
Take your time and check for leaks. Make sure there's no drips anywhere.
One problem that people don't look for is if this gasket comes off when you pull the filter off and you try to put your new filter on two filters, it's gonna leak something fierce. And you wanna make sure this is on your old filter when you pull it out. It's been running for about 10 minutes, so we'll pull it down on level ground and check the oil again. Dipstick, we're about a half a quart low, so we're just gonna take it up a little bit more. Now that the level is good, we're done.